The Cleveland Browns could send star playmaker to the Dallas Cowboys in a crazy deal, report. The Cleveland Browns are in full rebuild mode after their 2024 season went off the rails in Week 1 to the Dallas Cowboys, and now the two teams could possibly make a trade in the next few weeks. Cleveland has nothing else to play for this season after starting the year with a 1-6 record, and one of their top playmakers could be on the move. Mike Jones and Jeff Howe from The Athletic wrote an article titled 6 NFL Trades We'd Like to See, Max Crosby to Lions, Nick Chubb to Cowboys. The two have running back Nick Chubb traded to the Cowboys for a 2025 third-round pick and a 2025 sixth-round pick, and this is why Jones and Howe think this deal makes sense. The Cowboys are last in rushing yards, touchdowns, and yards per attempt. Why? Because they're 30th in attempts. They don't have the personnel, and Mike McCarthy hasn't shown a lot of commitment to the ground game. Being completely out of balance has led to 3 of their games getting out of hand early. Chubb has the star power team owner Jerry Jones covets. Although it's a risk with Chubb just getting back from a huge knee injury, the reward could be massive if Chubb closes the season as a top 10 back. For the Browns, it would be a gut punch to give up such an impactful piece of their franchise, especially considering the way he was received upon his season debut. And they probably don't want to take the public relations hit after the fan base turned on quarterback Deshaun Watson, but Watson's deal is about to dramatically squeeze the books. Chubb, who turns 29 in December, is going to be a free agent after the season, and it's going to be a stretch to keep a highly paid running back on the roster with the cap gymnastics on the horizon. Whether or not the Browns are prepared to admit it, they need to give serious consideration to drafting a QB, and the extra third-rounder could aid that endeavor. Trading Chubb would be a crazy move for the Browns since he is one of the few players the fans love who is still on the team, and Chubb feels the same way. The star running back played his first game last weekend since tearing up his knee in Week 2 of the 2023 season, and even though he will be a free agent this offseason, the Browns seem like they want him back. Cleveland needs to rebuild its entire roster, so getting a third-round pick back for Chubb would be solid. Still, Chubb could have another 3 to 5 good years of football left, and knowing the Browns, they would waste the draft pick anyway, so keeping Chubb and trying to sign him long-term would be the best thing for the organization. Daniel Fisher is a sports writer for Gridiron Heroics, covering the NFL and college football. He has been covering the NFL and college football for the past 2 years, and with a focus on the Cleveland Browns and Ohio State Buckeyes. Will Brandon Aubrey play versus 49ers? Plan for Cowboys K during jury duty. Dallas Cowboys Pro Bowl kicker Brandon Aubrey is serving on jury duty for a felony case. Will it cause him to miss the Week 8 game versus the San Francisco 49ers? Dallas Cowboys Pro Bowl kicker Brandon Aubrey made a surprise appearance on the team's injury report on Wednesday afternoon. Aubrey missed practice, but Cowboys Nation quickly learned there was no reason for concern. As it turns out, Aubrey was summoned for jury duty. Aubrey was selected as part of a 12-person jury for a felony assault case in Tarrant County, according to the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. More, Micah Parsons' injury update, Cowboys star has yet to pass key mark. With the jury duty causing Aubrey to miss practice, many have been wondering whether he will be able to suit up on Sunday night against the San Francisco 49ers. The good news is yes, Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy fully expects Aubrey to be available and a plan is in place to get him ready for Sunday. Mike McCarthy said Brandon Aubrey will get his kicking in after his jury duties are over for the day, Todd Archer of ESPN.com wrote. On X, he will not miss the game and the Cowboys charter will return early Monday morning if the case Aubrey is serving continues into next week. That is great news for the Cowboys. Aubrey has consistently been the team's most effective and consistent offensive weapon through their first 6 games of the season. The 29-year-old Aubrey is 17 of 19 on the season and has at least one kick of 50 yards or more in 8 consecutive games, which is an NFL record. Report, Cowboys in contention to land 28-year-old 5-time All-Pro at trade deadline. McQuaid-Arnold by McQuaid-Arnold October 22, 2024. No comments. 3 Mints read. October 13, 2024, Arlington, Texas, USA. Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy looks over the play chart during the first quarter against the Detroit Lions at AT&T Stadium. Mandatory credit, Andrew Diaby. Main images. October 13, 2024, Arlington, Texas, USA. Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy looks over the play chart during the first quarter against the Detroit Lions at AT&T Stadium. Mandatory credit, Andrew Diaby. Main images. October 13, 2024, Arlington, Texas, USA. Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy looks over the play chart during the first quarter against the Detroit Lions at AT&T Stadium. Mandatory credit, Andrew Diaby. Main images. The Dallas Cowboys may need to do something drastic to put some fire back into their season. Dallas is currently 3-3 through their first 6 games with a road contest against the reigning NFC champions, San Francisco 49ers, up next. With the 2024 NFL trade deadline just a few weeks away, Dallas is suddenly being named a landing spot for a franchise-altering playmaker. Report, Dallas in contention to land 28-year-old 5-time All-Pro at trade deadline. Alex K. of Bleacher Report highlighted how star defensive end Myles Garret could wind up in Dallas. In wake of their third consecutive 12-5 campaign that ended with an early playoff exit, the Dallas Cowboys surprisingly elected to run it back with largely the same cast as last year. That quiet offseason hasn't been paying off for the organization, which is now sitting at 3-3 and third place in a relatively weak NFC East. Although offensive woes are certainly at least partially responsible for this tepid start, the Cowboys are a meager number 12 in yardage and number 20 in scoring after finishing top 5 in both last season. The defense has taken an even larger step back in 2024. A number of the team's star pass rushers, including Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence, are suffering from significant injuries. As one of the best NFL pass rushers, Garret has registered double-digit sacks in 6 consecutive seasons. In 16 starts in 2023, he recorded 42 tackles, 30 quarterback hits, 17 tackles for loss, 14 sacks, and 4 forced fumbles. Garret has 17 tackles, 9 quarterback hits, 7 tackles for loss, 4 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles through 7 games in 2024. This trade would be difficult to pull off, but would be massive for the direction of Dallas defense.